All right, all right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I see you over there, Sin and Patrick. Thank you for joining me in this clubhouse space. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. I see you, my YouTube family. I see you, YouTube. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for chiming in. If you are following me right here on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Hit that notification button and share, share, share. You all know what time it is. You know what time it is. From 5 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, I bring you, you know what? Keeping up with Congress. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, your candidate for the United States Senate, your candidate. I don't care where you are in these United States. I am your candidate to the United States Senate, y'all. I'm running here in the great state of Georgia, but a vote for me in Congress is a vote for you. You know where I stand on the issues. If you don't, please go to my website. The website, you can see it right here on the screen if you're following me right here on YouTube. Clubhouse family, I join you right at 5:30. We got about 27 more minutes and we'll bring it to you live. Over in these clubhouse streets, I usually come over and we stay about a half hour or however long it takes for us to hash it all out. So I want to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube and right here in Clubhouse. So let's get this party started. Again, I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, and we are keeping up with Congress. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. All right, let's dive in. Let me make my screen larger for those of you that are watching right here on YouTube. You know, I always like to bring you reparations information. And what I was digging today, y'all. I was digging, the last 3 days right here on Keeping Up with Congress. We were bringing you highlights from the reparations, the 2021 reparations and justice rally that was held right here in the great state of Georgia on this past Friday, sponsored by the United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen, a phenomenal event. It was a great turnout, celebrating Juneteenth, but we got to be real clear. That was a compromise over in Congress because we all know what was supposed to happen on Friday. We all know, but those of us who are part of this reparations movement, we know on Friday there was supposed to be a vote on the House floor for HR 40. And that compromise was, you better give them something because we was coming. So they gave us Juneteenth. They just threw it out there, and what they say unanimously, they voted for Juneteenth. They didn't want that vote on that HR 40, y'all. So we can't be sleeping in these political streets. No sleep in these political streets because we see what just happened. We got a holiday. Everybody get paid, get the day off, except for Georgia. Georgia, our governor said he wasn't paying for that. We got enough holidays. Shaking my damn head, y'all. Shaking my damn head. But nevertheless, it's a federal holiday. A lot of people got the day off with pay. That's not what Juneteenth was supposed to be about. But okay, we'll take this holiday. But they were supposed to, again, have a vote on the House floor. We're not asleep at the wheel, y'all. We're not asleep at the wheel. So let's dive in. Again, I always bring you reparations information before we dive into the bills. This is an article I found about Amherst. The Amherst Council establishes a reparations fund. We've been following Evanston. We've been following Amherst. This is in Massachusetts. We've been following Asheville, North Carolina. We've been following other cities around the country. And I actually got a good list today. I kept digging. I was like, where are all these other cities? So I got a good list. I'll bring it to you in just a few minutes. But here's the first article. Amherst Council establishes a reparations fund. Amherst is establishing a reparations fund, which we've been following. We know all about. That will be used for making restitution to Black residents. And here's where we all get a little, we got to be mindful. Who are these Black residents? And what does Black actually mean? This is where our pushback is. So making a restitution to Black residents for past harms against them and leading to a process of reconciliation. Let me make this larger for those of you that are following me right here on YouTube. If you're following me on YouTube, there you go. It's larger. It says the town council Monday voted 12-1 in favor of setting up a special purpose stabilization fund for reparations. No money is yet in the account, though a plan was recently presented by the town finance officials that would put $210,000 into the account later this year when, quote unquote, here it is, free cash is certified. And I highlighted this free cash is certified because we got to pay attention, y'all. Words are important. What are they really saying? Free cash is certified. What does this mean? Goes on to say, only at-large counselor Mandy Haneke voted against creating the fund, but her vote was entirely for technical reasons, including that it was premature to establish a fund before forming the African Heritage Reparations Assembly, the committee that will develop a plan that might use the fund for reparations program, but also create some other option. I'm kind of with her. I am with her on this. Like, so y'all collecting money and putting monies aside, and y'all haven't actually set up the actual African Heritage Reparation Assembly. That is where they're going to actually do the work. This is where we got to be careful about, you know, what reparations is looking like in these municipalities. We are real clear. Reparations is federal. Reparations is federal. And I say it for a third time, reparations is federal. But this is what's happened on these local levels, but it's muddy in the waters. So it goes on to say, Michelle Miller, who co-founded the Reparations for Amherst Group, said the Reparations Fund sets the foundation for equity in Amherst. Any appropriations from it will be made by a 2/3 vote of the town council for lawful reparation purposes. And that's what I highlighted. You see it's highlighted for lawful reparation purposes, y'all. They're going to get so much pushback. Goes on to say those purposes will be determined by attorneys with KP Law. So they got a law firm that's helping them to determine what these lawful reparation purposes are. Confusion. Goes on to say the town manager, Paul Bockelman, said having the fund means the town can begin accepting contributions to it. And you see, I have that highlighted, accepting contributions to it. You're accepting monies, but what you accepting monies to a fund that you don't know what you're going to do with yet. All right, accepting contributions to it, and the town council can discuss and plan for orders that will place money into the fund. So y'all going to accept contribution, the town can place some money in there, and y'all just building up a war chest. What's going on? We got to watch this. We got to watch, because we've been bamboozled so many times. We've been bamboozled with these policies. And I'm going to show you how we going to be, you know, some of these cities are already getting it wrong besides this one. The council also approved the charge for the African Heritage Reparation Assembly to be made up of 6 Black residents, 2 of whom are current or former members of elected bodies in Amherst, and 1 representative of reparations for Amherst. The Assembly's charge includes developing and recommending to the town council a municipal reparations plan by October 31st. So we're going to keep our eyes on Amherst through October. They got until October to come up with a plan, but they collecting money, y'all. They putting their money aside. Says that Amherst is modeling its reparation after Evanston, Illinois, which this year is qualifying households to receive up to $25,000 for down payments or home repairs. See, here's where we got a problem. Cut the check. This money should not be funneled through the city to do any kind of, to give it to specific residents, and they tell them exactly what they can do with it. Home for down payment and home repairs. That's not what reparations is. This is a debt owed to the descendants of chattel slavery for all the systemic injustices that have been done to us generation after generation. And you're going to tell us what we're going to do with the money? Oh, no. That's why this is not reparations, y'all. This is the trickery. And we got to be mindful that we got to get elected. We got to get to Washington. And we got to create our reparations administration. We can't play with this. You see what they're doing. Here's another article that I found about Durham, North Carolina commits $6 million for reparations, an approved budget. So Durham, North Carolina has put aside $6 million. They're putting aside $6 million. This article says Durham is showing what providing reparations for slavery could look like by actually trying to do it. The city's budget for the next fiscal year includes $6 million that will go toward green and equitable infrastructure. Y'all hear that, right? The city's budget for the next fiscal year includes $6 million that will go towards green and equitable infrastructure in historically Black neighborhoods. So they're doing what they want to do with the money for us and calling it reparations. I be damn, bamboozled all over again, y'all. Durham intends to allocate money every year going forward. Ooh, they doing something so good. They're going to allocate money every year going forward toward green and equitable infrastructure in historically Black neighborhoods. The mayor, his name is Steve Sherwell, says he wants to see the reparations efforts at the city level replicated on a national scale. So see, here's what they're doing, y'all. Setting the model for what they feel like should happen for reparations. Set this model. So when it does happen in Congress, we have model legislation with these municipalities that have done it a certain way. And they can say, well, this is how we're going to do it too. So see, they're setting us up. They're setting us up, y'all. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. What looks like is good on the ground ain't going to be good when we get to Washington. This mayor says, I think locally that what we can do is we can do things that are reparative. That's what he says. We can do things that are reparative. And we do that every day in our work in the city. Well, then that's what you do. You do it every day in your work in the city. Don't do it without reparations. He goes on to say that's different from really having a program of reparations. And I think that's an important distinction. Yeah, it is an important distinction. You should be doing your work in the city with your city money, with your tax dollars. And then if you owe us reparations, you need to pay us what you owe us. Cut the check. Put it in their accounts. Let them decide. Those who are descendants of chattel slavery in this country, let them decide how that money is spent. Not you, Mr. Mayor. Not you, Durham. Goes on to say, in 2018, the Durham City Council passed a resolution calling for reparations to descendants of enslaved people. So they've been working on this for quite a couple of years, 2-3 years now. It says last year, the city council voted to invest in things like home ownership or healthcare in areas where Black residents face disparities. Yeah, I don't know if I like this mayor. The historical injustices, he goes on to say, the historical injustices from slavery, from Jim Crow, and now the injustices that continue today have had an incredible disproportionate burden on our African American brothers and sisters here in Durham and around the country. He goes on to say, and this is it. And this it has led to an enormous racial wealth gap that is unjust. So if he says it has led to an enormous racial wealth gap that is unjust, how the hell do you justify putting the money into green and equitable infrastructure when you just said you recognize that it's an enormous racial wealth gap? Bamboozled, y'all. Let me keep it moving before I get mad all over again. So I wanted to dive in and figure out who were these mayors? What are these cities? I know, like I said, we've been following some of them. It says 11 U.S. mayors commit to developing pilot projects for reparations, y'all. So I wanted to find out who these mayors were. So I kept digging. So here's a list of them, y'all. So pay attention. If you're watching right here on YouTube, you can see it right here on the screen. You can see it right here on the screen. The mayor of Los Angeles, the mayor of Denver, Colorado, the mayor of St. Louis, Tallahassee, Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Providence, Rhode Island, Austin, Texas, Durham, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Kansas City, Missouri, Sacramento, California, the mayor of St. Paul, and the mayor of Stockton, California. So let's keep our eyes on these cities, y'all, and their reparations, quote unquote, reparations initiatives that we are real clear aren't reparations, y'all. They setting a precedent. They're setting a precedent for how reparations is being, quote unquote, given out around the country. So that when it does get to Congress, they this is money that'll be coming through the city. And if you've been following me, you know about Lennon Town was a part of Athens, Georgia, where the monies that should have belonged to Lenintown, the descendants that were pushed out of their community so the University of Georgia could build a dormitory and build a parking deck, pushed Black people out of their community so they could have build, do more for their school, a dormitory and a parking deck. And the monies now that belongs to these descendants is being funneled through the city, and the city is doing broadband with these people money. The city is doing raising the minimum wage for the workers in the city to $15 an hour, $20 an hour, something, whatever it is. It shouldn't be with these descendants' money, and they're building a dang on cultural center with these descendants' money, and these descendants of Lenintown are getting nothing. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. Let me take a commercial break, and then I'm gonna come back with these bills, and we're gonna wrap it up. And I'm coming over here to Clubhouse, and we can chop it up. So let me take a commercial break. Thank you for tuning in for Keeping Up with Congress. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, your candidate for the United States Senate. I'm a progressive Democrat that believes that reparations will make America great. It is time that we bridge the divide in this country. Please go to the website. That's tamara4georgia.com. www.tamara, Tamara4, Georgia spelled out.com. Please join me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here for Keeping Up with Congress. I needed that commercial break. Let me cool off. That makes me angry, y'all. Makes me angry. So let's dive in. I bring you bills, 10 bills. We're going to dive in. Got about 12 minutes, y'all. Thank you for sticking and staying with me. Got about 12 more minutes. I'm going to go through 10 bills that are in the House. We keep an eye on Congress, bills that are in the U.S. House, bills that are in the U.S. Senate. We're going to keep our eyes on Congress. I tell you, we will not get reparations without negotiations. We will not go to Congress and not have to give up something. We gotta give them something. So we gotta be able to negotiate. We need to know who the players are. Who are these legislators? We need to know the game. What game are they playing? Let's keep up with Congress, y'all. So when we get there, we're prepared to be there. So this is HR 886, HR 886. This is the COVID-19 Diaper Assistance Act, COVID-19 Diaper Assistance Act. Representative Barbara Lee, Democrat out of California. I think we all know who she is. This bill provides additional funding for fiscal year 2021 for the Social Services Block Grant to provide diapers, wipes, and other diapering supplies to families in need. And here's where it's highlighted. Pay attention, y'all, how these monies could not be used for the purposes intended. It says this grant is a flexible funding stream used by states and territories to support a wide range of social services. So this diaper money ain't quite diaper money. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. Loopholes in the law, loopholes in the law. HR 886. HR 887, HR 887 is the Device Act of 2021, Device Act of 2021. This is Ted Lieu, Lieu, Democrat out of California. This bill addresses design changes and reprocessing of medical devices. It says specifically medical device manufacturers must notify the Food and Drug Administration before making changes to the design or reprocessing instructions of a device. So reprocessing of medical devices is the process for cleaning and sterilizing or disinfecting devices for reuse. So this is the Device Act, which stands for Disclosure and Encouragement of Verification, Innovation, Cleaning, and Efficiency Act of 2021. This is Representative Ted Lieu, Democrat out of California. HR 888, HR 888 is the RIDE Act, RIDE Act of 2021. This is Representative Miller, Carol Miller, Republican out of West Virginia. The RIDE Act, Reinforcing Impaired Driving Education Act. So that's what RIDE stands for. This bill requires the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to establish a 2-year pilot program to create and study the effects of a public marketing campaign to raise awareness on driving while under the influence of prescription and over-the-counter medications. This program should be implemented in states or territories that are most affected by the opioid epidemic. So this is the RIDE Act. This is Democrat Carol Miller, Representative Carol Miller, Republican out of West Virginia. HR 888. Got about 8 more minutes, Clubhouse family, and I'll be over there with you. Thank you, YouTube. I see you. Thank you. I see you chiming in. This is HR 889. HR 889 is the Education Freedom Scholarship and Opportunity Act. Education Freedom Scholarship and Opportunity Act. This is Representative Owens. Burgess Owens, y'all, Republican out of Utah. We know who he is. This bill allows individuals and corporate taxpayers, listen to this, a tax credit for cash contributions to tax-exempt scholarship granting organizations for elementary and secondary education expenses. So, y'all, this is how the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor, y'all. Some tax exempts. It says it imposes a cap of $5 billion on the amount of contributions that qualify for a tax credit. So how the rich stay rich and the rest of us stay poor. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. Representative Burgess, Republican. Burgess Owens out of Utah, HR 889. HR 890, found this one quite interesting. See, you just never know, y'all. These people have lobbyists. They have people that work for them, all organizations, entities. They got lobbyists. And whoever this lobbyist is, I found it quite interesting. This is HR 890. This is the GEMS Act. GYMS, GEMS Act. So this bill establishes a grant program to provide economic support to eligible fitness facilities in response to COVID-19. So the gym's about to get some money. This is Representative Quigley, Mike Quigley, Democrat out of Illinois. The gyms, they need some money from COVID. Specifically, y'all, it says specifically the bill authorizes the Small Business Administration to make initial and supplemental grants to privately owned fitness facilities that primarily provide health and fitness services and that do not offer golf, hunting, sailing, or riding facilities. So they got some exclusions, but they still privately own fitness facilities. They need some extra money, y'all. The total amount of grant funds for a recipient may not exceed $25 million. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. They got a mean lobbyist. And the recipient must use these funds for payroll costs, rent or mortgage obligations, and other ordinary and necessary business expenses. So yeah, some COVID-19 money for these privately owned fitness facilities. Keeping up with Congress, I'm telling you. Everybody getting theirs. When are we, the descendants of chattel slavery? When are we gonna get ours? HR 891, HR 891, we have about 5 more minutes. I'll be right over there with you in Clubhouse in about 5 more minutes. HR 891, this is the Students and Families Empowerment Act. This is Representative Rice, Kathleen Rice, Democrat out of New York. This bill expands tax deductions and grace periods that apply to student loan payments. Yes, Lord. Let the church say amen. Yes, tax deductions and grace periods that apply to student loans payment. Yeah, okay, Kathleen, we can rock with that one. Democrat out of New York. Part of this bill extends from 6 months to 12 months, the grace period before payment must begin. We'll take it, Kathleen. We'll take it. A part of this bill also says the bill prohibits interest from accruing on a federal direct unsubsidized Stanford loan or a federal direct plus loan during the 12-month extension or deferral period. So yeah, prohibits interest from accruing. Yes, we like that. HR 891, Kathleen Rice, Democrat out of New York. We'll take it. We'll take it since Joe Biden ain't moving swiftly enough with student loan debt forgiveness. What he, touted, the lies. Patty say amen. Amen, Patty. I know, right? Help us out with that, with the student loan. Hey, Satch over. How you doing? Hey, Brother Charles. Welcome to the broadcast family. HR 892. Let me hurry up and get you guys back to your day. HR 892, Pre-Existing Conditions Protection Act of 2021, Pre-Existing Conditions Protection Act of 2021. That's like a little tongue twister. I looked this one up. This is Representative McMorris, Kathy McMorris, Republican out of Washington. This Pre-Existing Conditions Protection Act aims to achieve three important goals for patients: guaranteed access to coverage, prohibiting pre-existing conditions, benefit exclusions, and banning a premium rating based on health status. So this is HR 892, Pre-Existing Conditions Protection Act of 2021, Representative McMorris. HR 893 is the Court Shopping Deterrence Act. Now this one is going to require some of our legalese to just kind of jump in and dive into this one. I didn't have the bandwidth today to go as far as I would have liked to have gone with researching this, but just to give you an overview, this is Representative John Rolls, Republican out of Tennessee. This bill gives the U.S. Supreme Court exclusive jurisdiction to hear appeals from a nationwide injunction issued by a U.S. district court. This definitely requires us to dive in and do a little research. I actually found an article that I wanted to read, but I needed to read it and be centered to kind of make sure I understood it and it could explain it to you. But I think HR 893, for those of you that have legal backgrounds like myself, will find it quite interesting. And I will dive into it. It's just I got to get into it and really dive in. So HR 894, we got about 2 more minutes before we close it out here on YouTube. HR 894, No Tax Breaks for Sanctuary Cities Act. This is Representative Matthew Rosendale, Republican, Montana, Rosendale. HR 894 is No Tax Breaks for Sanctuary Cities Act. This bill denies a tax exclusion for the interest on bonds issued by sanctuary jurisdictions. So they're not playing. This is Republican Rosendale, Matthew Rosendale out of Montana. All right, we're at the last bill, HR 895, HR 895, Emergency Assistance for Rural Water Systems Act of 2021. I told you I pay very special attention to food, air, water, and land. Now, everything else we can compromise and we'll figure out how to get it right, but we don't need to compromise on food, air, water, and land. Those are the 4 areas the government needs to absolutely get it right, and we need to all agree. So HR 895 is the Emergency Assistance for Rural Water Systems Act of 2021. This is Representative David Rouser, Republican out of North Carolina. This bill allows and provides funds for the Department of Agriculture to provide grants and loans, as well as loan forgiveness, modification, and refinancing to rural water, wastewater, or waste disposal facilities. So this is HR 895, the Emergency Assistance for Rural Water Systems Act of 2021. Like I say, we don't need to compromise. We all need to get it right. Food, air, water, and land. We get it right, legislators. So I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, y'all. We are so on time today. We are right at the half hour. If you have not gone to the website, I ask over and over again, please go to the website. Go to the website, make a donation. We are not playing. We have a bold, progressive agenda to take to Washington. I am right here in the great state of Georgia. I am ready to serve. For those of you that know, this is not my first run. This is not my second run. This is not my third run. This is not my 4th run. This is my 5th run. Make a fist, y'all. It's my 5th run for office. And I believe this is the one. I pray nobody else get in this race. We get to go toe to toe with Reverend Senator Raphael Warnock, because on the issues, we got him, y'all. We got him. This is a race we can win, but we got to have resources to make sure that people know who we are, where we stand on the issues, and why we need to be in Washington, and why he don't need to go back. So I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. You know, today is Thursday. That's really my Friday for y'all. If you follow me here on YouTube, you know I'll be back with Tamara for Georgia on this Saturday at 11 a.m. I'm every every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on YouTube, right here on YouTube, bringing you issues that are specific to activists and activism around the country. So make sure you join me on Saturday at 11 a.m. But I will see you back here for Keeping Up with Congress on Monday. Y'all have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you on Monday. And as I go out, I'll put your comments on the screen.